All right, froze up there for a second. So hello, everybody. Sorry for being a tiny bit late. I was trying to edit this video, but I couldn't get it together in time because there was a lot of cussing and stuff on there, but maybe I can relay it to you. But I got some other things for you. I should say thank you so much, Donovan, for joining me, the recovering Democrat, also known as the Black Yul Brynner of the Demetra K Show, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, Big Giant, thank you. Hello and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. To my wonderful moderators that I love so much, I got a special set of instructions for you today. If y'all see people coming on here with the stuff, not the regular stuff, but the stuff, I want y'all to block them, okay? Block them, not the mild stuff, but you know, the trolls coming on here acting a fool. I want you got my permission today to block them, they mama, Obama, and the drama. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Love you so much. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the call for blacks to boycott Asian-owned businesses grows, and others are mad, and they are big mad. I made a post on Facebook and Instagram, and they just showed up like. So anyway, I'm going to show y'all a couple illustrations of that. Of course, you guys know that is coming off of the backs of the not guilty verdict of Rick Child there in Columbia, South Carolina, where he was found not guilty of taking the life of Cyrus Carmack Belton, a 14-year-old who I guess I thought stole water, and he did not. And he took his very life by shooting him in his back. So from that point, many in the Black community, a lot, right, have said, hey, we done, right? So we're going to get into that conversation in just a few. But Donovan, what say you before we go ahead and get started?
Okay, welcome again. Apologies for us being late, but we try to bring you these great conversations with great videos that can put emphasis on what we're actually talking about. But before we get into that, I want to say this. Demetra, California, what's your thoughts?
I'll give it to you as soon as we're done with this, because boy, I tell you what.
The Democrats are trying to steal it, man. They're trying to steal it. But anyway, welcome to the show, you guys. Demetra's going to give us her great commentary on the recent primary here in California. The Democrats are trying to steal the election, and, you know, the mail-in ballots. All of a sudden, you know, Becerra, notice that? Becerra has starting to take the lead in some polls and some things that are out there. But welcome to the show. It is 3 p.m. That means Demetra K Show is on. We appreciate you guys so much for taking the time, your time, to come out and have these conversations with us. There's a scrolling banner at the bottom right here. If you guys want to donate and keep these great conversations going, there's ways you can do it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, money order, however you guys would like to do it. We really, really do appreciate it. If push comes to shove, at least give Demetra K a coffee, because she does get up early in the morning to do these various different channels and shows. Also, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play, Apple Store. And of course, we're getting original content there that is starting. I think there's an upgrade that's going to be happening very, very soon. The best deal is the lifetime payment. That way, no matter how much it goes up, you're covered. So we've got that going with the African Diaspora News Channel app. Also, remember, they go on trips every year, different events that they speak at and things. There's so much things that the African Diaspora News Channel app at least does for me, and keeps me informed of what's going on around the African diaspora. So it's very, very important. A lot of things are going to be happening coming up. Just in the elections, but as well as overseas and abroad. A lot of stuff is about to kick off in Cuba. There's a lot of stuff. And the reason why I bring up Cuba, and I know it's very sad, but a lot of us think most Cubans look white, right? No, the majority of Cubans look like me. And there's a lot of stuff that's going to be kicking off in Cuba. But this is going to be an interesting conversation, because as you guys are well aware, I was raised in Japan. That's where I got my formative years, in Japan. And this is very, very interesting conversation that I'm going to give my honest opinion to. So, Demetra, let's get into it for the sake of time.
Absolutely. And Vanessa, thank you so much for becoming a member for 1 month. Woohoo! So, okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, as you guys know, this conversation is all over the Black community and even other people's community, right? Again, as Rick Child, the owner of a liquor store or gas station in Columbia, South Carolina, He was found not guilty after their 2023 slaying of young Cyrus Belton, Carmack Belton, rather. Again, the surveillance showed his wife, I forget her name, Alice Chow, following Cyrus around. And then they asked him to open his empty his pockets, and he did that. There was nothing. He got his backpack and he left out of the store. He was chased by Rick and his grown son Andy about 133 yards, and then from that point Rick took his life. Again, no water bottles were found. They did say they found a weapon, but it was debunked as to whether Cyrus had pointed it at him or not. There's some speculation as to how the weapon had got there in the first place. But nevertheless, Black folks have finally said, well, we said it once before, but I think this time it's a little bit more serious, that we're done. We are actually boycotting said businesses, but more so we're going to boycott, right? That is what we should be doing, is boycotting, which means we're going to buy into our own. Y'all like my shirt? Black owned, right? Anyway, we're going to boycott into our own businesses. We're going to build our own businesses like Dr. Claude Anderson has told us to do, right? So we're starting to see a lot of movement. People are saying, hey, there's a Black owned nail salon here. Hey, there's a Black beauty supply here. There's a Black restaurant here, right? So all these, businesses are coming about. In fact, I saw a guy say, wow, I didn't realize we had so many Black beauty supplies, right? So it's refreshing to see. Now, we also know that a lot of Black-owned businesses, especially the beauty supplies and things like that, a lot of times they get snuffed out because, let's say the Koreans, right? They do have a lock on the beauty supply chain. And so a lot of Black-owned businesses say, hey, we kind of get locked out of those things. And so, but we are hearing about a lot of Black-owned businesses, which is refreshing, okay? Now, from that point, there are a lot, not just even in the Asian community. You have some from the Latino community. And I did a video yesterday, and I'm going to refresh your memory, that has taken issue with us, taking issue with some in the Asian community, right? And there's a copious amount of other videos all over, basically being mad at Blacks for boycotting and taunting us in a way. And I'm going to show y'all a video about that. But the question that I'm asking is, why are they so mad? I know the answer, but we'll get to the bottom of that. Why are they so mad at Blacks finally saying, hey, you know what? This relationship has jumped the shark. As we know, especially a lot of, let's say, immigrants or foreigners, they're giving loans rather specifically to set up in the Black community. For one, white folks said, no, you can't set up shop here. And they can't get a loan to do that in so-called white communities, but they can get a loan to set up in Black communities. The other thing is they say that the Black community is underserved, so we can justify letting you get a loan to set up shops over there. And the other thing is it's cheaper to do that. It's cheaper because a lot of times the buildings are this, that, and the other. But oftentimes we know when they set up shop in our community, it's not necessarily anything we need. As you'll see, one of the guys, the stuff he's mentioning is like, well, we don't really need that stuff. But of course, we know of the relationship between Blacks and Koreans, especially in Los Angeles, with that of Latasha Harlins, who was a 15-year-old who was had her life taken by Sujong Do. They're in Empire Liquor, and she was found guilty of manslaughter, but she got a... And the white judge says, well, she's not a criminal. I can't really see sentencing her. So she was able to go free and live her life, just like Rick Chow is. So more and more Black folks are saying, okay, we're not going to keep paying for this type of treatment. Now, I shall say, I have seen some videos of some of us still, and I'm going to show y'all a video just a second, but I have seen, going into some of these businesses, but I've also seen some Black folks riding around and saying, okay, this spot has usually got a lot of people in it, but ain't nobody in it. I've seen some people actually go into some of these businesses and like, hey, what are you doing in here? Okay, have you heard? We boycotting. Now, the other thing is this. I agree, and I've said this a lot. I agree with a lot of other people. Now, listen, if you go into one of these businesses and you catch a bad one, don't come to the internet telling the rest of us. We don't care. We don't care because you were warned to stay out of there. And if you got your behind whooped or your neck, don't tell the rest of us because you were warned. Okay. Now I'm going to give y'all a refresher as to why, I don't know, or you can see some of these people who are mad. So this is just something I put together. Another video I tried to put on, it was, I explained to you, was an Asian woman. I won't call her a lady because her mouth was so filthy. She was calling us the word. saying that our children are horrible and F us for wanting to, boycott them. And too bad. You're just to Cyrus's mom, you're just trying to get rich off the death of your son. Okay. So that's the gist of what she said. So here's what I put together.
Our community says let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
I've been seeing a lot of black people on the internet saying, oh, we gotta boycott the Asians and the Chinese people. Like, bro, y'all sound stupid as hell, bro. Most of y'all, like, why you got beef with the Asians and Chinese people? By the end of the weekend, I promise more than half of you guys are gonna be going out to the Chinese buffets and ordering from China. So who are you kidding? Saying, oh, they hate us, they wanna get rid of us, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever thought about why they hate you? Why everybody hates y'all? Because y'all don't know how to behave. Damn.
And I think it's so funny when people know they're in the wrong and they always got to resort to, I'm going to cancel your business. I just want to say, you're not the first one to try that and you probably won't be the last. But if that's what you got to resort to, you know that what I said hit a nerve. It wouldn't bother you if it weren't true. So what does that tell us? And for all business owners out there, all PR is good PR. Keep that in mind.
Okay, so that's just some. Okay, there was a lot out there. Some of the people, Asians and the Latino came to, as I said yesterday, to the teamed up with some of the Asians, basically, nah, what y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. The first guy, of course, has been all over, and he said that he deleted his video, but people got screenshots, including this one, right? He's basically, what y'all gonna do with your liquor stores and all this other stuff? Y'all don't want us in your community. We live with white people anyway, right? That's what he is saying. Is like, well, it's not really issue whether we want you in the community or not. If we don't want you in the community doing the stuff that you do, thinking that it's okay to unalive our babies and that you can keep on making it, like Rick Child, right? They said that he had a history, a documented history of, and I showed y'all a video, the very little snippet that I could the other day. He had a full-on fight with a teenage black girl, jumped on her, moving the product all around while he had his weapon on his hip and a baton in his hand. I tell you, and then he held the girls in the shop, wouldn't let them leave, but they said that he had actually pew-pewed two people and has brandished his weapon before and beat up people. So this was a documented history. As with Sujadu, there at Empire Liquor, it wasn't the first time with Latasha Harlins. She had a documented history of pulling her weapon on kids. Okay, so he's basically saying, okay, fine, what y'all gonna do without us? Okay. And then the Latino basically says that 50% of us will be back by this weekend, and the Chinese buffets and all that. And he says, no wonder why everybody's sick and tired of y'all, right? Y'all don't know how to behave. Okay, I'm just repeating what he said. And then the last dude, he was more or less like, basically, they ain't gonna cancel us. All big publicity or attention is good PR. So they're basically saying, I bet y'all black folks ain't gonna bust a grape. Y'all will be back. Okay, now to that point, I'm going to show y'all even more of them. In a sense, to me, it looks like they're taunting black people. Okay, now it looks like, I'm going to show y'all again, there were some black women up in there, and they said this was Saturday. Oops. So basically what they're saying is, who gonna check us, boo? We still booked and busy, okay? So I want to say this, and I will say, from what I understand, Jamal Bryan sounds like he's getting involved, which is good. We need him, people like that, to get involved on this side of things, right? Bumper Target, okay? Because at the end of the day, Target They hire black folks. I know they got some issues, but still, this is where the call has been for a very long time. Okay. Because as has been said, that we especially cannot set up shop in any of those people's communities at all. They would not spend money with us. We would starve. We would go out of business. It'd be a grand opening and a grand closing all in the same day. In fact, they would not let us set up shop in their communities at all. The other thing too is, you know, we got to get a little bit more active at the city hall, city council meetings, the city planning meetings, because that's where they go before and say, hey, I want to open up a chicken and rice house or a nail shop or a pawn shop or this or that. In the black community, we got enough degradation. And y'all need to ask yourself this, okay? Why is it that they never open up anything good, right? Why is it that they always open up vices, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it is? Why don't they ever open up anything good? And ask yourself this, why don't you ever see their people in it from whatever community, whether it's Asians, Arabs, Indians, Hispanics? Why don't you ever see their people flooding into the businesses that they open up in your community? I'm just asking y'all to think about that. But to that, they're really mad. You know why they're really mad? And I was saying, in all fairness, I've seen a lot of Asians say, hey, y'all need to listen to black folks. Like y'all are trying to be on the defensive and be mad at them wanting to boycott, but you're not listening. But I think they really believe now, and I believe it too, that black folks have said enough. Because for those that did boycott Target said, okay, what do we got to do? Okay. Because the truth of the matter is, black folks spend a lot of money. And that's why they open up these businesses in our community, because they know we spend money on hair, nails, alcohol, and things like that. But we need to spend that money with our own people, because we got $2 trillion and 97% of that goes to everybody else. So they're mad because they see that's a big giant lump of money that they may not be getting. Do y'all know if we was to boycott for 1 week, all of these businesses, they would feel the pinch? So imagine if we did it 1, 2 weeks, 3 months, a year, 2 years, problem solved. But it's not just enough to boycott. We have to boycott. We have to now redirect that money back into our own businesses. That's how this works. Because if we don't spend money with them, where does the money go? We need our own businesses, schools, everything you think of. And the other thing, I want you to keep this in mind. The next time you feel like walking in one of their businesses, y'all remember them thumbing their nose at you, and not just the Asians. You know, and I want to say this too, it's not all of them, okay? But it's enough of them that aren't saying anything when they hear about the unaliving of our children and our people. They don't speak up, right? So y'all think about that, them thumbing their nose like, I bet you ain't gonna do nothing. You need us. You like they don't like you. I'm not gonna get mad just yet, but just remember, those people talking like that, they don't like you. They like your money. They're not, like the dude said, we don't live next to y'all. We don't even like y'all enough to live next to y'all. We take your money and we go live next to white people. He said that, and we know that to be true. So Donovan, and I'm gonna get into the comment section.
Well. Is the cat really out of the bag? I've been talking about this, Demetra, for years when it comes to other countries, especially in the Asian countries, when they practice a form of caste system or colorism. These are the so-called, what do they call them? The model group in America. Yeah.
Model minorities.
Yeah, the model minorities in America. They're adjacent white, whatever you want to call it. And these people actually believe in their cultural traditions that the lighter you are, the better you are. Again, everybody wants to dump on black. I mean, Tupac said it best. It's me against the world. It's us against the world. Everybody wants to punch down on us. And they use any excuse to do it, but at the same time, believing a self-lie that they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and they came to this country with $12 and all this other stuff. How the hell you gonna come to a country that before black people fought for civil rights only limited about 10,000 of you guys a year to come in? And you had to come in with the skill. But see, they don't want to talk about that part of the equation, the sacrifice that black people made. So whenever I hear these other groups talk about what is the matter with you black people, you guys go do this, you know, all this BS. I know a lot of you out there do not like the term "Make America Great Again." It wasn't a Donald Trump saying. That was a Ronald Reagan saying, "Make America Great Again," because we were in an economic slump in the late 70s, early 80s. So "Make America Great Again" was his mantra. But this is what I tell these people that have immigrated legally or illegally into my country. Go back and make your country great. Stop talking about what is wrong in this country and that country and this, that, and what's wrong with black people. Because like Demetra said, and like we all know, you can't come to this country with $12 in your pocket, go get a bank loan and go set up in Beverly Hills. What happened to those illegals that they ended up shipping to Martha's Vineyards? Liberal Martha's Vineyards. Liberal. The Kennedys have a compound over there. You can't get more liberal in the United States than the Kennedys. Obama has a spot out there. The Clintons have a spot out there. You can't get more liberal than that. Those immigrants were shipped out of there within a week, and you barely heard about it on the news. You barely heard about it. If you weren't watching Fox News and the far left or right news, you didn't even hear about it. This is an ongoing problem where you also have, let's say, Hispanics, especially Mexicans. They believe this is stolen land. The Western states are stolen land. But if you tell them about the Treaty of El Delgado, where we purchased this land for $15 million because they got their butts kicked so thoroughly that we could have incorporated all of Mexico, but they believe this is stolen land. How is this stolen land on purchased land? Regardless if you believe the purchase was legal or not, it is recognized internationally as a legitimate treaty that was signed by their leaders at that time. But they believe this stuff. So now you've got the Asians who think they don't need black people. If you look at the history of Asians in the United States, they have never, ever been successful without black patronage. Any of their businesses, because if they set up in a white shop, white people ain't going to patronize them. They're not. Even the Middle Easterners have come into the black neighborhood and set up shop and made millions and billions of dollars. Do they really want to F around and find out? Do they really want to do that? That's the question. But let's hear what you guys got to say about it.
Absolutely. So I'm working the comment section, y'all. And Eastwood Henderson, thank you so much for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you. And Del Monte Green Beans back at you. Thank you so much for that. And Share Girl, how you doing? Says, thank you, Demetra, for saying it. If y'all going to continue to go back to these folks knowing we're boycotting, stop telling us we don't care. And I'm going to get into that conversation on the African Diaspora News channel all next week from different points of views. But yeah, we don't care. You know, let it do what it do as far as I'm concerned. But what do you want us to do? We told you what to do. Stay out of there. And yet somehow you think that, I don't know, we don't care. So yeah. Okay, let me see. And LG says, no, we don't like. Okay, some of that stuff I can't read, y'all. Y'all gonna get me in trouble for real. Scatman, how you doing? Says this is what you show Democrats when they come around with that people of color coalition of black and brown nonsense. And the other thing is this too. This is a conversation we got to have. Where are the Democrats? Where's the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus? I haven't seen them mention anything about young brother Cyrus, the boycott, or none of that. And you know what the crazy part is? Those organizations that I mentioned, they rally on behalf of immigrants, illegal immigrants, everybody but black folks. And they see that we're talking about this and they are shut mouth. They ain't got nothing to say. So y'all keep that in mind, right? This is the party that if they go and they march and they out there right now at Delaney Hall, Newark, New Jersey, protesting the ICE detention facilities, but they ain't said nothing about what you go through as a black person here in America. But see, as I was having this conversation with my daughter, okay, this whole voting rights thing, it went over like a lead balloon for the Democrats because there's some black folks that are mad, but many of us are like, well, what does that even mean for us? Y'all haven't done anything with the votes that we've given you in the first place. Y'all take our votes and y'all go help everybody else. And now that, you know, the Republicans are redistricting and taking y'all districts and stuff, Now y'all want us to crash out. A lot of us are just like, we're not going to do that. Okay. And this is another thing too. R.I.P. to Brother Cyrus. But something like this is also bad for the Democrats, because now we're not focused on that. We're not focused on that no more. Black folks, whether you're part of the 92% or people, whether you voted for Trump or not, are coming together like this on this issue of the boycott. And so the Democrats have been squeezed out of the conversation. Listen to me, y'all. They've been squeezed out of the conversation. So don't be surprised if they really try to come do something. They talked about what? Some about reparations. Oh, well, and we're like, man, get out of here. We don't believe you, okay? They were more mad about Trump potentially giving the J6ers reparations than us not getting it. So this is not good for the Democratic Party, because everything, Trump bad, voting rights, oh, y'all need to be out there with ICE. I saw one of them do nothing Democrats yesterday. I forget her name. But she was saying today it's them and tomorrow it's black people. It's like, if you don't shut up, it's not working with us. Now we're on a different page, but don't be surprised if they try to hijack this movement. Do not let them do that. I don't care what side of the aisle you sit on. Do not let them do that, because it's coming. Barkhorse, how you doing? Says, my people don't need, trust, and believe that. Go home. Don't like back to our country you fled, or go back to your country that you fled from. Problem solved. Brother Naaman says, you cook some fried chicken, rest in eternal power to your mom. Yes, D. I mean, we can do all that. We don't need them to do that. Like, literally, they're moving in our communities and opening soul food restaurants. I like, are y'all not y'all them? Are y'all not ashamed? And you fix your mouth and eat a piece of fried chicken from somebody who just got here 20 years ago? What's wrong with you? Clearly, you're not that hungry. Are you that hungry that you allow somebody? Because as is also been said, you could not go. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said they're not going to let you go set up and sell egg foo young in that community. They wouldn't have it, but you allow them to open up a fried chicken, soul food. Y'all know that drive me up a wall when I hear that. That's crazy. Antithesis, how you doing? Says, don't delete your video, stand on business. No, he did, but it's too late. He deleted his video, right? Magneto, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. All right, so let me skip down. See, I'm kind of behind. The average logical thinker says, just found the black-owned nail bar near me, and it's legit black-owned. Some owners of a restaurant I used to patron. Yes, and there's a lot of them, actually, but people are now speaking about it, right? Todd, he says, I don't have respect for those that have close proximity to white supremacy and claim they're better than us. Miss me with that BS. Let me tell you something, as I said, and I always say, and it's always been said, if black folks would have put a rope around us and a big old gate and nobody have access to us, the world would crumble, because how will we know what to do next, right? As I said to a lot of the people showing up in my comment section, y'all boring. I wasn't even talking to y'all. Y'all showed up, yeah. I'm like, I know mayonnaise is not sexy, but if y'all don't like us, y'all trying to get away from us, why do y'all come up on their comment section? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't give a damn what you do. I don't care how you feel about us. And that's the problem. They know we don't care, right? So, yeah. Molly, how you doing? Brother Jonell says, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave us the solution: do for self, support your own, shop black owned, invest in black entrepreneurship, black ideas, black inventions, reestablish Black Wall Street. The Asians and others are basically calling us slaves for being non-productive independent. Yes. So we got to prove them wrong. And it's not even about proving them wrong. It's about proving us right by boycotting into our own businesses, right? Raynard, how you doing? Says Demetra and Donovan, these people are not used to black folks standing up for themselves. They are afraid that black Americans are going to carry through with their boycott. These people are scared. But the other thing too is I want to correct some a little bit, because we not no punks. Now, we have been acting bent over in a sense, because y'all got to remember, before they even came over here, we were here. We were building Wall Street, Slocum's, your Allentowns, your Rosewood. So we're not a defeated people. We have a unique situation that the others don't have. We have the system and institutions that have like been designed to keep us down. Even this Constitution, that wasn't designed for us. It was designed to keep us down. So the others don't have that set of circumstances. And as Maya Angelou said, and still we rise. And that's what other people can't stand. That regardless of it all, we still rise. So we got to get back to that. And yeah, they scared, because It's always been said that when black folks wake up and we get into our right mind, it's over. Everybody else stops eating off of us, period. And that day is here. I really believe that. One Who Cares says he needs to get exactly what he's giving out this summer. Well, yeah, I listen. Diesel said he wasn't lying. The majority of black Americans would continue to shop as usual. Nothing to see. Nah, you know what? I think even if 10%, that's all it says. Even if 10%, we did 10% more, it's a game changer for us and everybody else. So I think we passed the 10%. But you know what? Let's spread the word. Let's speak life into what our people are trying to do. Let's not be, well, I don't think. Listen, I know we've been here before, but we in a new day and age, but we're not going to keep letting these people play it in our goddamn faces, and then we're going to keep on taking it. That's the energy I'm on. All right, let me skip down because I see I'm so behind. Willie, how you doing? Says we can pull our money together from white folks to all of them can, and we'll get to work. Yeah, everybody has eaten off of black folks from the plantation to now. Enough is enough, right? MC for Life, what's going on? He says he needs to be worried. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. Easy E in the building says the law in South Carolina allow child that continues terror. And the black folks, that's what we got to tap ourselves on the wrist, because why in the hell would you go back up in that stove? And you heard about, like, the people in the community are telling these stories. Oh, he did this before, and you took your ass back in there. Why did you wouldn't have been able to pull a gun on none of his people, and you be able to stay open. Think about this, y'all. Like, I get passionate about this. This is actually how I started doing this years ago, right? But think about that. They do that to our people and turn the goddamn key. And then they go back in there the next day like, who gonna check me, boo? And then you got some of these silly ass black women, excuse my French, it's Sunday, you got some of them will go up in there and then fight the brothers, talking about, you tell me what to do. And then when you get bust upside your head again, they gonna talk about where the black men at. Well, you told them to be quiet and get out your business. So now they out your business. You take them big meeks and then you go sit down somewhere. That's what you need to do. But think about the lunacy in that. You know this man did that before, and then you continue to go up in there. Woo. Yvette, he says, I haven't shopped in their beauty supplies or the stores in over 10 years. Their food never looked good to me. Also think about that. Y'all, they set up these buffets in the black neighborhood. Oh, you get all you can eat. You get everything for $19.99 up in there, and you ain't worried about the quality of the food. Do you think, I don't care who it is, any buffet, which one I don't like buffets, because do you think that they care about the quality and the consistency of the food that they serving you? And they know they serving predominantly black folks. That slop. They feeding you slop. And then you go and you'll pay for it. And you get all you can eat. You eating slop. You shouldn't be eating there no way. Woo. It pisses me off. It does. Carnivore, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Black America says they don't eat soul food. Why would they patronize our business? But we do eat Chinese food. But so if you don't eat soul food, you won't bring yourself in mind. I'm supposed to eat yours, brother. Do you hear how you sound? When I come to Vegas, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you, and I'll be there in the next couple of months. I ain't gonna tell you when, but when I do, I'm gonna sneak up on you, put you in the headlock. Anyway, who else haven't I seen? Miss Sapphire, what's going on? Says, who eats their refried, reheated food that they serve in there? I say restaurants in black neighborhoods. Like I said, do you think the integrity of that food is something you would? Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up real fast. Just doing any and everything to your food is slop, right? I'm getting down there, y'all. I'm getting down there. Who else haven't I seen? Donovan, jump in whenever you want. Facts on Feeling says, I'm only shopping where blacks are employed. I'm getting dinner now, and it's going to be where some blacks are employed. Yeah. You know, and I'm so scared now. They got the god doggone screwworm out here in the food, and I'm finna eat air. You know what, Brother Damon, you better stop. Michael, how you doing? Says, it sounds like those Asians are winning the game of life. Are they? Are they winning the game of life? Why you can't win in your own community? Why don't you set up the chicken and rice houses and all that other stuff in your own community? Why you can't win with your own people? I know why they do it in our community, but see, that stops today. And we need to keep having these conversations that this stops today.
Yeah, has anybody ever really thought the fact that, okay, let's just use this example. They can't seem to set up shops in their own community to make that type of money. They can set up the shops, but they can't make the type of money they make outside of the shops of the Black community. So let's take a good example, Cardi B or Fat Joe. They're going to take Black music, and they made millions of dollars and they're millionaires and all this other stuff, right? Off of Black music. But has you guys ever asked yourself, why can't they do that in their own country with their own people? Why can't they do that with their own people? They have to come to the Black community to make that kind of money. You want to know why? Because their own people will not support it. It's just that cut and dry.
And they own people ain't gonna eat and partake in all the stuff that they giving to you. To your point, they just not gonna do that, but we'll do it. Like, think about the lunacy in that. They get a lot of recipes from us, but we going up into these buffets and all these other things, and getting your nails done, sitting up all these chemicals and stuff all day long, and taking this funky treatment. Like, at what point do you have some self-esteem as a people and say, I'm not gonna, like, I have Donovan to tell you, and I know Donovan too, we got high self-esteems of ourselves. There's things we not gonna do. There's people we ain't gonna talk to. Like, we just not, right? So we gotta get like that as a people. Like, I wish I would. Ain't no way. We have to really get like that. Because as I say all the time, when I'm in the gym, I don't see nobody running around trying to look like them other people. Them women, they run around with big old giant boulders on their back that they wasn't born with because they trying to look like Black women. But we run around with so low self-esteem that we allow people to do any and everything to us, and we forget that we the blueprint. I don't care what nobody say. They'll say, no, you not. But them other women, they run around looking like themselves, and hey, listen, that's just how you build, okay? I don't know what to tell you about that. Anyway, Brother Jonell says we need a Black town in every city. We need to be productive. Their greatest fear is our Black economics being truly used for Black empowerment and supporting Black businesses. Imagine if our economics went to our nail techs, stores, inventions, etc. That's a change you can bank on, guarantee, and make reality. Shop Black owned. Yes, me and my daughter's having that conversation. Most of the stuff we have, a lot of it is Black owned. Lipstick, Black owned. Blush, Black owned. Shirt, Black owned. Hair products, Black owned, right? So I'm just putting that out there. And it's intentional. You have to be intentional. Brother Roy, how you doing? Peace unto you as well. D. Thomas, what's going on?
To put your emphasis in there, look at the 15% of Black people that did not vote for Kamala Harris that basically cost her the election. 15% made the difference to where everybody was like, oh my God, that's all it takes. Like Demetria was saying, 10%, that is impactful for them to listen to what we've got to say.
Just 10%. It is said that if right now it's 3, okay? We only keep 3, but if we were to keep 10%, it's a game changer. We could build businesses, open schools, a whole, and then we can wash, rinse, repeat. That's what they do. They know, as it's been explained by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Black community is a gold mine. They don't even have to advertise. Just set up shop and we go in there like zombies. Ew, there's another chicken and rice house. We gonna go on over there. It's like, take your Black self in your Black kitchen and make your own Black chicken and your own Black rice. Okay, ain't nothing special about chicken and rice. And if they giving you a big old giant container, you can't even close. You ain't worried about that. Like, oh, you're so generous. It ain't because they like you. It's because they giving you slop and you eat it and you feed it to your babies. What's wrong with you? Seriously. Night Rider, what's going on? Said they depend on Black resources for every crumb of their daily bread. Yeah, but then y'all ain't gonna do nothing. You be careful. You be careful. I see y'all comments, but let me just make sure I get to the bottom and get everybody. Inspector, how you doing? Says, who cares? People can do what they want. If they want to boycott them, let them, no matter the reason. Yeah, but they say they don't care that we boycott. It's like, why you got so much to say? Talking about it's not fair. Well, it ain't fair. We got to keep having conversations about our babies being unalived in these stores. That's not fair. You whining about some money. My mama used to always say there's money everywhere, but we can't get another life back. So you mad because black folks talking about we don't want no more of that? It's not fair. Well, then why aren't y'all demonstrative when it comes to what goes on in our communities with your people? Y'all got to remember, they got a hate crime bill off of a lie that it was us that was doing it. And it wasn't us. Was it some of us? But again, if you're dealing flat blackness, who was it really, right? White folks mess with Asians more than anybody to the tune of 55%. But we got the blame. And a lot of those do nothing politicians, Democrats and Republicans, signed up to get them a hate crime bill off of the strength that, or the weakness that black folks was the boogeyman. And you ain't heard nothing from these do nothing ass Democrats about none of this. They want you to crash out behind ICE.
And ask yourself, when was the last time you had a bipartisan bill passed through Congress? Just that simple. Boom. Both parties agreed on it. But
Never,
we can't. And we as American citizens can't get help and the funding that we need for schools and whatever else projects that we need. It has to go to the filibuster. It has to do this. We have to do that. And we sit there and let this nonsense continue over and over again. And what kills me the most, Demetra, is that when it's a specific bill for black people, we got to study it.
And we're like, okay, then we gonna get a study. Albie Chill, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. I saw it come up. I'm just trying to get to the bottom, but thank you. I ain't forgot y'all. I'm going down to the bottom, so please be patient with me. There's a lot of comments in here, so I won't be able to get everybody's comment twice. So I'm gonna try to anyway. Dave says NAACP and black politicians getting Asian donations, just like Asians pay bribe universities to get in. Yeah, and that's true. They'll never stand on business for black folks until black folks stand on business. You hear that? The Democrats are never going to stand on business for you. To this day, I'm kid you not. Go to any one of their pages and they talk about the boycott of LaMonica McIris. She pregnant and she talking about ICE facilities. Ain't got nothing to do with black folks here in America, not black Americans. If you a citizen, ain't got nothing to do with you. But that's what our misleadership spend their time on. They're talking about boycotting ICE, which Trump rammed the $70 billion bill through anyway, so he gonna fund what he want to fund for the next 3 years. So they took all these people through all this foolishness for what? For what? Just think about it. Mr. Balls on Fire. How you doing? It says we do not want them in our black communities, Demetra. Whether they are good or bad, we want them gone. FBA can live and thrive together without any racist, hateful culture. No gains, 100%. I totally agree with you. We the blueprint. Don't forget, we are the blueprint. How do we allow them to take our stuff and sell it back to us, and then sell it back to us watered down? How? So we got to raise our self-esteem as a people. Gotta say, I don't think so. No, thank you. You want to, is that a soul food restaurant owned by some other people in our community? Oh yeah, grand opening and closing today. And then you got to tell other black folks, don't you take yourself in there. And I saw somebody say, well, what about people saying, well, they haven't done anything to me. I'll concede that, because there are some businesses that do hire black people and all that. Okay, but we talking about collectively, because we're the only group of people that can't talk about everybody collectively, but everybody can talk about us as a collective. Black people, all black people. But when it comes to everybody else, well, it's not everybody. But that everybody, they don't come out and say, hey, that's wrong. Like, stop these people. Like, your uncle who own a, liquor store in the black community is with the stuff, and you don't say nothing to him. So I'm just saying. Yohani, it says vote for Mickey Mouse and just focus on down, you stupid, ballot voting. We have to hinder the Democrats to grab their attention, been an agent of chaos until we get tangibles, right? And in the meantime, we give ourselves tangibles. We got the money, right? Brother Jonell says, it's fear of black economics going to black people. The power of black economic solidarity is what we all can bank on. Come on now. Come on.
Real quick, I jumped in a little bit farther than you.
Sure.
Faquan D2M says, the foreigners, regardless of ethnicity, are given business loans easier from the banks to open up businesses, specifically in the black community. But ask yourself this, Mr. Faquan, wasn't Maxine Waters the chairman of the banking committee in Congress? And based on her being the chairman of the banking committee, what regulations did she put in to make it easier for black people to get loans? What regulations did she put in to stop the redlining and all that other stuff. She's been in Congress for over 30 years. Please show me. And she's still on the banking committee to this very day, even though she's not in the chairman anymore, because they're not in power. But the fact of the matter is, and I've said this on shows several times, we have the people that look like us in every position across the United States: police chiefs, mayors, congressional members, and yet the culture of the Black racism and keeping Black people at the bottom of this economic system does not change. Why? And it does not change, and yet these people still get elected to higher offices. And we never question why our neighborhoods look the way they do under Black leadership, why things do not get better. Matter of fact, it's gotten worse. We never question that. So is the problem Maxine Waters, or is it the problem the way that we vote and the way that we think? Please hit that like button, you guys.
But Donovan, tell the whole story. When Maxine got on the chairman of the finance committee, what did she say she was going to do? What was the first thing she said she was going to do?
She's going to hold Trump accountable.
And when was that?
4 years ago.
That was when he was first in office. His first term. She didn't do a damn thing. And by the way, everybody else talking about she in charge now.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, while she was on the finance committee for banking, whatever that committee is, she was censured because she funneled money to her husband allegedly and all this other stuff. She was caught up in a lot of stuff, which is why she has not been the chairperson of that committee ever since.
Right. That's what she said she was going to do. Buckhorse, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. Says they know we don't care. Yeah, but they want us to care. I'm telling you, every community, we don't want to be around y'all. We want to live away from y'all. Well, what are you waiting on? Like I told one cat on my post, well, we tried to give you equality and y'all this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, first of all, let's not ever get the story confused here. We didn't come get y'all to be around y'all. Y'all came and got us to be around y'all. And that y'all did that. Y'all talking about we the problem? We was never trying to be around y'all. And like I told one dude, y'all just learned last year, y'all supposed to wash your legs and take a bath every day. And you act like we want to be around you? All these years of Morrison try to civilize you, tell you need to take baths. And here we are still in 2026, y'all on the internet time. And I take a bath every day. We can smell. Eunice said enough is enough. FBA family, rather, he says we have to be done as a whole. I believe we're at 40 to 60% or 46%. Yeah, almost 50, I think. From what I saw, Black Plumber, how you doing?
Like this. See, and this is what I believe, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me. Once again, we are calling on the backbone of the Democratic Party, the Black woman, to stand up for the Black community, because it's going to take for these Asians to understand what we mean, and we mean what we say. It's going to take our Black, beautiful queens to stop going in those shops. That is the direct impact they need. Food, people are going to eat no matter what. People are going to eat food. I'm not saying that we shouldn't boycott the restaurants at all, but the biggest impact will be in those beauty shops and the beauty supply chain and all that other stuff right there. That is where most of these Asians make a lot of their money. And if the sisters could stand 10 toes down one more time for the community, not for the party, just for the community, it would be a game changer. This is really going to fall on our sisters to do this load. And for the fellas, it's going to fall on us to make sure and police these shops and get that word out that they shouldn't be in those shops.
Absolutely. Average Logical Thinker, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. And Southern Lady Brown was going on, says Black first. I agree with the delineation, especially the nail and hair shops, especially Temu. Ooh, that's another one right there. Shein, Temu, all of that, right? And a lot of those clothing and stuff, there's a lot of chemicals and forever plastics and things like that in there. They sell it to you cheap. And a lot of that stuff is just not good for you, but it's all about knowing. Buckhorse, thank you once again for that. Love and appreciate you. Says I haven't been to Asian joints in 2 years. Yeah, and again, I want to say this, and I feel like I don't, but I should. It's not about hate for other people, because if we're doing it because we hate other people, which we're not, But if we're doing it because we hate other people, it's not gonna last. We need to do it because we love ourselves. It has to come from a love for a love of self, right? Or like we love ourselves. We're worthy of keeping our own money, and like we invented a lot. Okay, most of these things these people talking about, well, you wouldn't have this and you wouldn't have that. Oh, you can thank a Black American, especially we made that, right? And Black folks all over the world have made a lot of things that have been hijacked from them and plagiarized and passed off as it belongs to somebody else. So let's never forget that. Kevin, how you doing? Says I don't even see Asian people in Asian restaurants. It's so bad. And like, think about it. You walk in there and be like, what are they people like? That doesn't concern you. That would concern me. What do they know that you don't know? Like literally, you're eating slop. It's not good quality food in there. You can't be. Mr. Ernest, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Real quick, this is no lie. I've actually seen Asians in these restaurants bring their own food rather than eat the food that's at the restaurant. You'll see them at a table eating their own food that they brought. They won't even eat the food that they're making for the public.
Wow. Christopher says Democratic leadership will stay silent. They need the Asian and Hispanic vote. You know, Black and brown. Unfortunately, Asians are not scared to. It says funded by whites since 1964. Now have Chinatown. Yeah, you know, and that's fine. But we need our own town, right? But everybody want to be down with Black folks. What Black people got going on? You know, that's like my daughter and I. You know, of course. We like a lot of West Coast rappers and artists and things. And sometimes when we look at their concerts, it don't be nobody. It's hardly us there, especially in California. It don't hardly even be us there. It be other groups of people. And it's like, thought y'all didn't like us much, you know, but you like our music. You like everything that we have, even to the point of, you know, y'all, it's more y'all there. Okay. All the LA radio, there's only one LA radio station, KJLH. Black owned 100%, but all the other ones ran by Latinos. Think about this. How the hell have we allowed Latinos to take over hip hop in Los Angeles? How? When I go back home, I don't even listen to it at all. I won't listen to it because you ain't finna regurgitate my people stuff back to me because you wouldn't let me do it to you. And then they be mad. They gatekeep our stuff. Think about that. We have allowed them to gatekeep our stuff. Insanity. Timothy says, stop shopping at Walmart too. Their crap comes from Asia. Well, yeah, we got to do it all, but we got to start where we are now, especially when you walk out of your house in your community, you see different shops set up and they mean you are no earthly good. Don't go there. You might have to take an extra walk around the block or a bus or go a couple of more miles to go somewhere that's pleasing to you. But you really got to send them a message because they full well set up in our communities knowing they mean us no earthly good, but we're going to go and spend money. Woo! Andre.
Yeah, and speaking of, taking and stealing the culture, look at all these dance troupes and dance shows. You see the Asians doing hip hop and all this other stuff, and they make it seem like they did it. And all these moves that they're doing, it's like, Dimitri, we did that back in the 80s, in the early 80s. Windmilling and all that breakdancing stuff. They think they're doing something new.
Yeah. Lovely Texas, what's going on with you? Brother Jonell says we can do anything else. We can do anything anyone else is doing. We got to stop moving and thinking like scared slaves. Come on now. Every Black business should be made rich and supported by us. We would be wise to keep our mouths out of other people's kitchen as much as possible. You know what you get when you cook your own meal outside of chewing at your own risk. Yeah. That's the nation has been telling us for a long time. Keep your mouth out of other people's kitchen. Don't eat at everybody's kitchen because you don't know what they're doing to the food. And if they don't like you, if they will take the life of one of your child, do you think they're going to set a nice plate of good, healthy food that ain't compromised in front of you? Like, at what point do you connect the dots? Do you think they would let you serve them a plate of food? Do you think they would show up to your buffet? Open one and see. Test that theory. Don't spend a lot of money there because you ain't going to be there long. Pop, how you doing? And thank you for becoming a member for 30 months. It says, just say, I love you though, but I can't read that. Uh, Zenobia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's private. What's going on? It says, anyone know how the boycott's going at the fuel depot in Houston? What is the fuel depot? I don't even know what that is. Is that a specific business? I don't know.
I'm sure our girl, Dr. Matthews, is on that. I'm very sure she's probably going to get to that at some point.
I don't even know what that is. Juniper Joy, what's going on with you? Says this blackout equals black empowerment. Yep. And what has been told to us for so long? The biggest threat, one of the biggest threats to America is Negro unity, right? Why? D. Ernest, how you doing? Sorry it took me so long to get to you. Says the Asians are poisoning the black community, taking our money and being allowed to do so, allowed by us and directed by others to do so. Yeah, they got a new buffet around the corner. Come on, let's go. Kanisha, how you doing? Oh, I appreciate that. It's hot. This is the summer hairdo right now. It's too hot to be wearing an afro, and it's mine. You know, unbeknownst to a lot of people that showed up in the comment section. Watch out. That's what they said in my comments on Facebook, specifically on Facebook. Oh, y'all with your black women, y'all don't wear your own hair and all this other stuff. It's like, who you talking to? This is all mine. What's left of it is mine. What you talking about? You know? And a lot of those hair, y'all got a lot of chemicals in there. Like I said, why is it that we got so many bald-headed black women? Why are we bald all of a sudden? We weren't bald back in the day, but all these chemicals and things that people putting in their hair, we shouldn't have so many bald head. A young bald head, but I understand if your grandmama, who like 80 years old, she got like a follicle. Okay. But 30s and 40s, we bald. Why? We should examine that. Let's see. Skipping on down, Lady Metatrons, how you doing? Says step one, move your money to black-owned bank. I got a black-owned bank account. It was black-owned when I got there, but now they got white people on the board. That's One United. How you a black-owned bank and you got white people sitting on the board? It wasn't that way when I got it years ago. Why now? You know? So yes, I agree with that. Monet says Demetra is right. These are the groups trying to look like black women. I see 20-something-year-olds at work, t-shirts, he says tight shirts and pants like they have a large tail doing too much. And I'm like, I really can't believe you asked the doctor to give that to you. Do you like that? I was gonna say something, get in trouble. I'm gonna just put this out. I'm asking, y'all ain't got to answer it. Brothers, why y'all be with them women with them BBLs and you like you? I asked this question. Let me just ask. How is it that you prefer mayonnaise over chocolate? Y'all get with these women who go augment their bodies, and it's like the sisters got that naturally. Stick to the ironing boards and the walls that you used to. Okay, don't ask them to augment their bodies because you really want to. So I'm just thinking out loud.
I really think it's a certain type of genre, like in the rap culture. It's a culture of rap where Nicki Minaj and all these people have given that aesthetic. And I'm not saying, the person is a lower quality person, but people that are into that, that's who gets that. I have yet to see successful men, and at least I haven't seen, in my personal opinion, men and billionaires and world leaders with the wife that has a BBL, an unnatural BBL. They might have it, but an unnatural BBL. I have yet to see that. I mean, it looks nice, or like it looks really weird or whatever it is, but I have yet to see. And I don't even have any friends that I know of, their spouses or their significant other has a BBL.
Yeah. And AK, he says, how can you eat those plastic noodles? And that's true. A lot of the noodles and things, a study came out, is plastic in the rice as well. So they said it's not rice, it's something else. So it's all about knowing. It's all about knowing what you're putting in your body. Yeah. I'm weird when it comes to food. Donovan to tell you, I'll be like, I'm gonna stick to the usual. I'm not finna be.
The only woman I know that walks around with a jar of peanut butter and honey in her purse.
I'm about close to doing that. Okay, I'm real close to doing it because I'm like, Jerry, how you doing? Says we are really hated. You know what? It don't matter how others feel about us, is how we feel, right? We got to love ourselves. When we start loving ourselves, everything else is just noise, right? Lord Flawless, how you doing? Says why are He says why are Dr. Candace Matthews and Quanell else out marching and protesting for justice for John Mendoza Jr., Mexican man, but not showing the same energy for Carmelo? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even realize that they were doing that. Is that what's going on? Okay. Quan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Facing East, what's going on? Says never forget the Korean rooftop boys. Yeah, they on your ass during the 1992 LA riots. Sister Shirley, did I say hi to you? If not, hello. It says I believe that half of us is completely out of our skulls. Yeah, we need to get in our skulls. Carlette, what's going on? He says we can show you better than we could tell you. Watch us work. Come on now. For Quan, what's going on? Says the foreigners, regardless of ethnicity, are giving business loans easy. Oh, that's the one you read already. Okay, gotcha. That's how far behind I am. Wow. Sherry, how you doing? Says I seen where one of their shops had a cartoon. Oh yeah, I saw that too. I might get into that next week. A cartoon character of an Asian man and two black boys, and the caption said, "Hurry up and buy." I seen this on TikTok, and they only mad because they know they need us. They couldn't do this in the white neighborhoods. We know why they're mad. The nervous blacks being mad. I did see that. It is that's crazy. I saw that. I might talk about that next week. Copper Granny, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's see. Derek, how you doing? Says I won't patronize their business. I haven't had Chinese food since 2017. Yeah, and you know, it's just really about love for self at this point. Admitting solar energy, what's going on? Says a lot of foods we buy from these immigrant stores are the exact food that they make us sick. Most of them don't even eat what they sell. Yeah, and the MSG is not good for you. You notice if you eat some of that stuff, you got like diarrhea and all that. MSG is that some people say it is, but a lot of studies have said, yeah, you shouldn't be eating that. And they put a lot in there to season the food and stuff. So be careful. Royal Blacks, what's going on? Says, why can't they mind their own business? Because we are their business. Think about that. They're like, we can't let the blacks go. We don't like them, but they're our business. And we can't mind our business. Like, I'm like, we're this, we're that, we're this, or that. But somehow you find yourself in our business because you can't stay away. It's black excellence. I get it. It's magnetic. It draws people in. Like, as I always say, if I had a choice to come back as something else, I'd come back as black. And black is where it's at, baby. Don't you ever forget. Black is where it's at. I would not come back as anything else. I wouldn't want to. I'd be like, I'm good. I know we got issues in the black community, but they spend a lot of time and dimes trying to be this, right? Mosh, what's going on with you? Says there should be no question. Stop now, right now, right? Brother Jonell says, where are hate crime bill to protect our children, protect and love yours? Black economics is for black business and black empowerment first. Yeah, they're never going to talk about no hate crime bills for us, but they will when we start yanking this money from them.
Yeah, you know, and isn't it funny when they were getting that crime bill, not one Asian leader, so-called leader or entertainer came out and said, oh my gosh, thank you, black people, for supporting this bill and helping get Joe Biden in, because if you didn't do that, Joe Biden wouldn't be the president. We wouldn't have gotten this bill. Not one of them have ever thanked us for using our votes so that they can get what it is they got, because as a collective, there's not enough of them to make a difference to swing an election. So they need our votes to do that. But not any group has ever thanked us for the sacrifices and the deaths that we've incurred so that they could come to this country, enjoy the civil rights that we fought for, that they didn't do. We haven't got one thank you. All we got is a kick in the tailbone and out the door.
And the buck stops here. Antonio, you says, why not open your own gas station, restaurants in your neighborhoods and stop complaining and make excuses? Why don't you mind your own business? See what I'm saying? Y'all like all the stuff and things y'all got going on in y'all community. How y'all find the time? And this is what I want to say too. See, I'm about to get mad and real sweaty and hot. Y'all can't tell us what to do. Y'all show up in our spaces and our communities and tell you don't have the right to tell us what to do. We don't listen to you. Like, who do you think you are? Yes, oh yeah, we gonna listen to Antonio because he showed up. We don't care that you don't like what we don't like. Mind your own business. See, because we can't do what y'all to y'all, what y'all do to us, and you like it. Whether you want to use the word, well, we just saying it, we don't mean it like that. But if I was to call you something, you and all your people show up to say something to me. But what you need to understand is we don't listen to y'all. We don't take directives from you. I know you follow behind white supremacy and think because they allow you to do a little bit more than they allow us to do that you have the right to talk to us. You don't have the right to talk to us because we're not listening. I just want you to know that. Don't worry about what we're doing in our communities with gas stations. If we took a piece of bubble gum and a bean and made something with, don't worry about what we're doing. Go worry about what you got going on in your community, because you know what? Out of the mouth and the thumbs that you type with that keyboard, on the other side, you're going to ask where the black community at when Trump is on your ass. So think about that.
Before you get rid of that thing right there, Antonio, I'm going to answer your question because he asked a very pertinent question. Why not open your own gas stations and restaurants in your neighborhoods? Stop complaining and make excuses. Now, Antonio, I don't want to say this, but are you slow? Because we've been telling you why we can't do this. We can't get business loans and redlining in our community and stuff like that. And that's factually known by everybody. How many times do we have to tell you why we can't get it? It's the same reason that you come to this country with your people and say, I got $12 in my pocket and we did this and we did that, knowing you were subsidized by the United States government to set up shop in the United States, but you will still continue with that lie. We've told you, and it's everybody knows the economic situation that black people are put in regards to loans and stuff. So that's why we can't open up businesses and stuff, because we don't get those loans because of systematic racism within the system. Did that answer your question, sir?
And even with that explanation, they just like to show up and try to tell black folks what to do. You know what I mean? And it really drives me up a wall, because it's like, why do you think we listen to you? You ain't nobody to us. The hell wrong with y'all? You know, and we really got to start checking people on that. You know, I didn't give you permission to speak to me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to talk to you. And I know that probably comes off as mean, but no, they really got to know. I know y'all think because y'all be in these other spaces and things, you say what you want to say about black people. But see, now they say it on the internet, because I promise you, when I was coming up, y'all wouldn't be saying that N-word around nobody I know, because you would have got a checkup from the neck up and maybe below the neck too. Who else haven't I seen? I'm just going all the way down. And text, you say we and specifically black Americans haven't done anything to them either, but that don't stop them from being against us. No exceptions. Yeah, Fat Son, what's going on with you? Says hopefully we can stick to this one. We will. We're gonna keep on having a conversation. I promise you. We're gonna keep on talking. Mama Deb says the last time I saw Maxine Waters, she was trying to bomb Rush and ICE. Oh, yeah. She found on behind ICE. The Ernest says, on point, Donovan, black politicians doing nothing for black people. Nope, that's okay. They gonna have a rude awakening too. They already having it. Apollo, how you doing? Says, what nationality was the 7 blacks on the jury that acquitted Child? I don't know. I've only heard that they were black, and I know that Child's attorney, one of them were black, right? And they putting a foot to his tailbone for real, you know, because like, what's wrong with you? You know, but he also got a wife who likes mayonnaise. So yeah. Let's see. Magneta says Taxine Waters, you crazy. Going down, Ambrose, what's going on? It says FBAs, it's time to stand on business with our vote. No more power to the Democrats. We need to vote for a third party. Absolutely. Because you see, especially in a lot of, I don't know, Donovan, I agree with you about California. There's definitely some technology going on. What it is, I don't know, but for sure. JRC, how you doing? Says the Democrats hiding out as usual when the streets hot, waiting on things to blow over, then back to playing in our faces. But you know what, though? Nothing has worked. Black folks are like, we don't care. Yeah, Trump, he got his issues, but he ain't our boogeyman. He's everybody else's boogeyman. You know, he's not our boogeyman. We got other things we need to be doing in our community, and the people we vote for go and help everybody else and tell us to keep voting for that. Like, Bernard, what's going on? He says black folks can derail the economic system, period. We could. I did one on the African Diaspora News Channel with one of the ladies on The View. She's a white lady. She says Black Americans have the power to shut America down economically if we chose to. But to that point, she was talking about the NAACP, right? The CBC, talking about let's get the kids, the boycott, right? The Southern schools because of what the Trump and the Republicans are doing. But damn the Democrats that's not helping the Black students that feel like they need to go to those schools. They're practicing benign neglect of their communities, but they want the Black kids to take it on the chin to help them do more of nothing for Black folks. Are you high? Is it crack or crystal? I need to know. JJ says, where's Kamala, Karen Bass, Maxine? You know where they at. They crashing out for illegal immigration, trying to find a way. You know, I told y'all, Kamala she had them little talking points. Well, I know it's a bit controversial, but get yours. You should get something for your vote. They probably snatched her in the back room, was like, listen, heifer, we don't need you telling Black folks to get theirs because we have trained and conditioned these Negroes in America for over 60 years to don't expect anything for their vote. They cool with that. They cool with showing up. I'm going to vote blue no matter who. I don't care what. That's what we got them trained to do. And here you come out of hiding talking about get some. We don't need you to tell them that because you know what? You might wake them up and they might demand that the party that they support the most do something for them. Because have y'all heard Kamala say anything else since she was on her little, I know this is controversial tour? You ain't heard her say nothing like that, have you? That's because they got and snatched a knot in her and said, you better be quiet. If you think you're going to go to the White House or have a chance, you keep on with that. And you're going to be sitting in the closet somewhere needing the biscuits that you was needing when you was there in the Biden administration.
Hey, and real quick, since we brought that up real quick, recently, Angela Rye went off on a commentator, a comment, a person that commented. Of course, when does an Angela Rye doesn't go off? But recently, she and Joy Reid basically slipped up and admitted what we've known for years, Demetria, that Trump and Biden, they could do reparations with that side money that's put aside. And Angela Rye knew that for years. And a lot of people didn't realize Angela Rye was a congressional aide. She had worked on, on Congress for a long time. So she knew that there was a fund out there that could have gone for reparations. And notice now how she's backpedaling and making it sound like, oh, this is new to me, whatever. But Joy Reid was like, girl, they had this, that, what is your take on that? That now they're starting to slip and they're trying to sound like progressive or grassroots people, but only to corral that Black vote because that's how they get their money, basically. So what is your thought on Angela Rye slipping up and knowing all of these years that money was sitting there and that they could have done reparations years ago?
I'm not surprised. It's a grift. I think we're waking up to it's a grift. They know that. Listen, as I keep saying, I think the Democrats are actually happy that this voting rights thing, you're taking out. I think they're really happy because they thought it was going to be the kaboom, right? They thought that was that's going to set Black people back. They're going to be mad. They taking a right to vote. But see, you got people in new Black media, right? Not just myself and Donovan, but y'all in the comment section. Everybody's like, man, you can still vote. They're not taking your right to vote. They taking their right to believe that they're entitled to that district. That's what that's about. So I'm not surprised that your Angela Rye and all these other people are okay. Well, that hasn't been working. That Black folks aren't freaked out. We've told them that they were going on a plantation once Trump gets in office. Ain't nobody talking about going on a plantation yet. We told them that their voting rights are in danger. We told them that Trump and them, ICE were coming for them next, and they're still not afraid. So, well, if we can't beat them, we might as well join them. You're right. We need reparations. You're right. We need the like, shut up. Nobody believes you. Now your audience, right? And I keep saying this about Roland. Everybody's saying this. Roland's audience are, baby boomers, give or take. Hey, listen, that audience is going up beyond. They leaving. Okay. New, and even a lot of the baby boomers and some of the silent generation, they're waking up and saying, wait a minute. We've been falling for the okie doke, the banana in the tailpipe. We need to stop, right? So now they got to come over and pretend like, well, you know, but a lot of them say reparations. They want reparations. Barack Obama's reparations. So now they got to get on the talking points, but we see you. The gig is up. You're grifters. And nobody's listening to you anymore.
Right, because, you know, what was that they said? How many of you guys remember this? Well, we got to get him in first before we can ask for anything. Does that make any sense to anybody? So we just got to go on blind faith and just put this person in, which we did with Joe Biden. And then what was the first thing that he did before he was inaugurated? Everything that I said I was going to do, don't have time for it. We got more important things like get money to Russia and Ukraine, and I got too many things to worry about. But you said if we gave you the Senate and the House and this, that, you were going to do this, this, and this. Seems funny he couldn't do that, but he had time for an Asian crime bill. It's amazing.
Yeah. J15062, how you doing? Says because there aren't any blacks left in LA anymore. It's about 9% black population in Los Angeles. Yeah. But in Los Angeles, it's about 9%. California, about 6%. I will say this. Just watching the election, a lot of black folks continue to want to vote for Karen Bass or, you know, Javier Becerra. They want that. So it's like you can't realize that you are doing this to your own demise. Karen Bass don't run around talking about helping black folks who are disproportionately the most homeless population. She don't talk about helping y'all. She talking about helping illegal immigrants. They all do. Whether it's the governor and city council. I showed y'all the city council member that Hugo Soto Garcia talking about. He think that illegal immigrants should have the right to vote so they can have a say so as to what goes on in their community. It's like their community ain't here. It's where they came from. But they don't talk about black folks having a right to do nothing. But black folks want to continue because Karen Bass is black. She black, but she don't have black interests in mind at all. Now, do the Republicans? I don't know. But I think some of the stuff that they're trying to do is going to, whether you realize it or not, it's going to help you. But y'all keep on voting. And I'm a California born and raised. I ain't there right now. But y'all keep on voting for Democrats in California. Y'all, the 9% of y'all that's left in LA and the 6% that's left in California, I might as well just move. Just move.
Well, as a recovering Democrat, me that's been studying this, California voters have not learned a damn thing. And here's why. If Karen Bass received her number of votes and she's in the lead, I think she garnered 31% or something like that.
About 34 or something like that.
Yeah, about 34%. Then you got this guy Pratt in the middle. And then you've got that third councilwoman, I forgot her name. She garnered like 27% or whatever. Now remember, Karen Bass and that council member, they're both Democrats. So you put those people together, the majority of these Californians living in Los Angeles haven't learned a damn thing about what is going on in Los Angeles or change. That's not change because in the general election, you take old girl's councilwoman's 27% or whatever she got, 23%, whatever, you add it to Karen Bass's total, she beats a Pratt just by the numbers that I just gave you right there. So it's going to take a whole bunch of Republicans to come out or just people dissatisfied with Karen Bass to win. But if you look at the numbers, how this primary was, the majority of Californians did not learn a damn thing.
And it's sad. All I can do is shake my head. That's all I can do. All I can do is shake my head. Pam says, well, traders like Dr. Dre help Latinos by giving them $10 million instead of helping the black community. He needs to be shunned forevermore. And I totally agree with you. We're going to get into that next week. I agree. Playtime is over. Anybody who ain't riding with us and what we're trying to do, you just stop supporting them. I'll give you a perfect example. Jamie Foxx. I see a lot of people, black people saying, no, we done with Jamie Foxx. It's not because you like white women. You can love who you want. That's fine. But it's that you get up and say, oh, black women, oh, they have my back. They supported me when I wasn't. And then you keep popping out with white women. Let the white women take care of you and support you and all that. Like a reel from Jamie Foxx popped up on my timeline the other day. I blocked it. I was like, no, no. We done. I'm done with you. Right. So we're gonna have to start really let the communities that you support, let them take care of you. You know, stop making it off of the backs and the money of black folks, and then go, creep around in their community. Nah, don't get me started. Albert Chill says our people are finally realizing we've been in an abusive racial relationship with all these people, and the others, are having a narcissistic reaction. Yep, entitlement. It's a false sense of entitlement to black folks. Proximity to black folks is a false sense of entitlement. We should be able to be all up and around you, all up at the cookout, and that's another thing for those of y'all who keep opening the door to the cookout. We watching you too, okay? They think that they're entitled to our money. They think they're entitled to our inventions and everything that we do. They're entitled to that. And the minute we say, no, you're not, they get mad. And then we the bad guy. They even want to sit up and call, like, literally, there's a rapper. I ain't going to say his name just yet. But he hangs out with the Latinos in LA. And in their music, they say the N-word this, N-word that. And somebody not too long ago came on and said I was lying. It's like your mama a lie. Okay. They allow these Latinos to use the N-word because we grew up around them. Like, really? Okay. Apollo says the government is the problem. Yeah, first class citizen. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sister Marvel, what's going on? It says so sad and unfortunate that this beautiful young man had to be sacrificed for us to come together to fight back. We have to got to stick together. Stick to this. If we don't, we're failing. All that comes behind us. And I agree with you. It's sad that he had to sacrifice his life. He shouldn't have had to. Like I said, especially all the stories that are coming out that he being Rick Child was doing that to black folks before, and it came to a point where he took that young man's life. But we should have got it back. It stood on code in 1991 when Latasha Harlins had her 15-year-old life snatched from her over a bottle of orange juice that she was accused of stealing, that she did not steal. In fact, the police found the money in her dead hand when they got to the store and found her body on the floor. So yes, totally. Easy says Fuel Depot, I believe, is an Indian gas station. Oh, I don't know. I never heard of it before. Daryl, how you doing? Says good evening from Pine Tops, North Carolina. North Kakalaka in the building. So let's see who else is here. Zoe, how you doing? Says I wear my own hair as well. Yep. Black Sean, what's going on? I can't believe how far behind I am. But guess maybe I can. Rhonda, how you doing? Says, can you remember going off base to Kaza in Okinawa and being followed around the store? So you're talking to Donovan. Rodney says, if I tell you why Demetri, the Latinos took over hip hop culture in LA because Black American Freemen and FBAs couldn't unite with all the crack gangs, they could open and operate Black American businesses. Yeah, that's true. But the other thing too is we kind of allow everybody to come in because, they can dance real good or they down by law. But they, like I'm telling you, they don't welcome you into all their stuff. Imagine if some Black folks tried to gatekeep some of their stuff. Oh, they'd have a fit. But they get mad when we say, nah, we good. You're not, you can't come into the cookout. Oh, that's messed up. Why? You don't even invite us to your cookout, but you feel entitled to come to ours? I don't think so. D Will, what's going on? He says, I oppose, you stupid. I oppose BBLs. New Ben, how you doing? Says most of us don't know true beauty. Yeah. My daddy told me that years and years and years ago. Me and my sister, they stand out in the sun and look like you. Like they don't have any color, but they got to paint all that stuff on their face, right, to look like you. And I never forgot that. I was a young Black girl. Black America says, no, I don't know because I ain't never touched one. But that's why my friends, what they tell you about what? About the other women? Okay. Zebra, he says, make your own hair oil and shampoo. Yep, I made me some conditioner the other day. It worked out quite nice because I knew I had to do this to my hair. And y'all see my hair normally. It take a lot to lay my hair down like this. Jessica says, looks disgusting to me. And I know I'm so far behind. Sunlight says, what the hell is an unnatural? You stupid. What the hell is an unnatural BBL? They're all unnatural. Sister Cynthia says, I haven't shopped with them racist folks for almost 10 years. I had to check in Asian. It says on their disrespectful behavior. Some of them are very rude to our ladies who are their employees. Yeah, I'm telling you, I wouldn't work nowhere if people treat me crazy. I don't care who you think you are. I'd rather collect cans. Netter, what's going on with you? Long time no see. Says they never invest in our businesses, but they expect us to build generational wealth for them. We've got to stop this and do for self. Well, we do build generational wealth for them. As the guy said, we send our kids to colleges and all this other stuff, right? Like, mad, what you mad for? Y'all hate black people so much, but you mad because we saying we love us enough now to boycott and boycott. You mad? You pick a struggle. 2, what's going on with you? You said, I come back as a better version of my black, beautiful self. Come on now. Say. Yvette says, the only black grocery store I know is in Compton. Yeah, from what I understand, there's like 10 black grocery stores throughout the United States. I hope that's not true, but that's what I keep seeing. We're going to change that. I know there's a couple that open up some other places, but we're going to change that. Like I said, if we have to open up a tomato stand on a corner, we need to start there. At least you can say, I bought some black-owned tomatoes from black folks. We have to start there. Reverse Uncle Ruckus, how you doing? Says, is this country is nothing without black culture. The world is nothing without black culture. How is it that Kanye West, think about Kanye West, and I know he got some issues, but at the core of Kanye, I think he owned something. How is it that he can be banned in other places and go overnight? He had a concert in Turkey, and they said that he broke a record. Never been done before. I can't remember what it was, but he goes and I'll be here tomorrow, and he sells out like that. It's black culture, baby. That Kanye is black culture. But you could best believe that, as most of us are. And for some of the Asians that got in my comment section talking about, what about y'all hair? Don't act like y'all ain't getting these permanents, curling your hair up real tight, acting like you got a fade like Jamal. We see y'all.
And not even that, the women that have the thinning hair, which is prominent in Asian women, they're getting that genetic stuff that kind of makes it fill in the middle. So, I mean, it's easy to talk stuff, but again, you got to look at what you're saying.
Yeah. Mark, did I say hi to you, Mark? If not, hello. Let's see who else is on here. Quan, you say, are demands and grievance, tangibles, and policies for FBA descended reparation, anti-black hate crime law, FBA box on census, FBA history question on U.S. citizens, tests, tax, and military exemption status, or no vote? Yeah, and then they be mad when people talk about why I ain't gonna vote. It's like, well, what you giving them to vote for, right? Arthur, how you doing? Says they spend not one dime with us, just take. And we all right with that, but that's changing. And I'm going to get back on my war horse because, like I said, I started doing this years ago, telling us, hey, let's start spending our money within our community. And I got the call from, not the call personally, but he sent it out to all of us. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, hey, we got to stop that, right? He said, down with Santa, up with Jesus. This was during Christmas. We spend a lot of money. Let's stop putting money into everybody else's community while we are in a constant state of begging. And I took that seriously. And here I am. Russell says, we got what we deserve for helping everyone except ourselves. Nothing. Yeah, well, we going to stop that. Brenda, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just moving on down. Jay Lovely says, stop shopping with foreigners. Get them out of our Black American communities. Know who owns where you're eating at. They're buying franchises that we eat at, Dunkin' Donuts, churches, Popeyes, and McDonald's. And I also saw, too, where people are saying that some of them are now identifying as Black-owned. So be careful. So you might go on Google or whatever to see if it's Black-owned. They identify as Black-owned, and they're not really Black-owned. They're saying that now to try to circumvent, especially this boycott, because now people are really searching for Black-owned businesses so they could say that they're Black-owned and not really be that.
Yes, real quick. One who cares, one of our moderators and longtime supporters. 367 likes, over 500 in the live. Please hit that like button. It helps the algorithm and it helps push this conversation out there to other platforms.
Thank you so much. Jacoby says the ones who are text open, talk about, I think, open up your own gas stations. That is not as easy as you think. You have to follow many EPA rules. Yeah, I mean, there are some Black-owned, but we need more, right? Absolutely. Another thing, too, is a lot of those gas station liquor stores that they open up in our community, nothing but filth. Things that we don't need. Sell the Negroes low-hanging fruit, liquor, cigarettes, and all of that. I mean, if we're going to do it, get it from your own people. Like Uncle Nearest is a Black-owned alcohol brand. I have a bottle. I don't drink, but I got it because I'm like, I want to support Fawn Weaver. you know, and she's having issues and people trying to take her business. Uncle Nearest actually taught Jack Daniels. He actually taught Jack Daniels how to, you know, distill alcohol and things like that. It's a true story. Uncle Nearest did that. If it wasn't for Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels wouldn't be a thing. So I just bought a bottle to support the sister, you know. But we have black alcohol companies if that's your thing, you know. Gold Crown Eyes, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Computer Blue, what's going on with you? Sister Cynthia, thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. It says, I truly appreciate you both so much. Thank you for empowering the words. And thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart. Who else haven't I seen? Frank, how you doing? Hope you're well. I see all your comments, but I want to catch up, y'all. I didn't realize I was so far behind. Papa Gooth, what's going on? Says, where I live, the Koreans own all the businesses. If you don't got a car, you have no choice. You know what? What did our ancestors do? When they was boycotting the bus company for over a year, they walked, they carpooled. See, what we got to also realize is making change is not always comfortable. It's not always convenient, right? But we make change. Do you think, how long do you think it would take if we didn't shop there? They shut down quickly. They'd be gone. They're going to be there as long as they know we, you know, and I hear what you're saying. It's valid. It's far. But, you know, we have to make a way. Sometimes we got to sacrifice. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'd like to do. I'm just not going to do because it's not for the betterment of myself or the betterment of my people. Like I said, to me, and I do this in love, so don't take this wrong. Before I started doing this and I was in California, I'd be at Venice Beach every Sunday. It's what my daughter and I did. We went to Venice Beach. We just love hanging out in Venice Beach. But when I started doing this, I've done this mostly, you know, every Sunday with the exception of something like if I'm on vacation or something. Since 2016, almost every Sunday. It's a sacrifice to not, you know, do nothing on Sundays, lay up, watch TV, go to the beach or whatever it is. But I do this because, you know, I love y'all, I love myself, and somebody's got to sacrifice something. We all can't be comfortable. Some of us are going to have to be uncomfortable. And I tell you all the time, I appreciate everything that y'all do for this channel, but there's not a lot of money in this. And I'm not doing it for the money, so please don't mistake me in that, but they're just not. But a lot of people do this for the money. I do this for the love. And as I've always been told, if you do what you love and you do things in righteousness, in the right thing, everything else you need will be added on. And I will say that I have not gone without anything. So, yeah.
Wait a minute. You did not tell the story. You were doing this with a bunch of your friends in a closed environment. And I happened to be one of those friends one night that saw what you were doing. And I took about a little over a year to get you to come out and put this message out there to the world.
Yes. And yeah, I was only on Facebook at the time and I had gone viral a few times, you know, but Donovan was like, you should probably take this message further. And I was like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So finally I went over to his house. Donovan has a studio and everything. And we were doing the live shows from his house for a few years. Yeah, and the pandemic hit and I moved and all of that. And thank God, StreamYard, that's what I do this on, came along. And then here we are, you know. So yeah, Donovan has a lot of credit to do with the Demetra K show and the message going forward. And y'all know Donovan is the Demetra K show. He's a part of it. Like I said, a lot of y'all don't see him. He's not here because he doesn't, you know, I don't want him here. Donovan's busy. Donovan can come on here whenever he wants. So just want to remind y'all of that.
Yes, and you know, and that also helps my my claim to any rights to Demetra K. I own all rights. In case me and Brother Phil got to sign the contract. Like I said, Phil, I'm willing to sell the contract. Call me, brother, call me.
He might be like, well, who says I'm trying to buy it? You know?
Wait. And since we're on that real quick, I know it's Sunday. Everybody's getting a little tired and everything like that. Could you please, because a lot of people, I was talking the other day on my podcast, and a lot of people were asking me, how did Demetra end up with the African Diaspora News Channel? So if you can tell people what had happened, how you and Brother Phil kind of originated that situation.
Well, it's just simple as, you know, I saw he was looking for contributors. I think I saw it on Twitter and I hit him up. I was like,
no. I'm not talking about that. No, I'm talking about.
That's really kind of how it happened without really kind of going in and bringing up the past. You know what I'm saying?
But there was a thing where.
That's what I'm saying. Without bringing up the past.
No, we're not bringing up the past, but that's what I'm saying. There was a thing where you spoke on behalf of that incident and happened to have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then a year or so later, or maybe a couple days, and then I, hit him up and said, hey, I'm available. And I've been there ever since. And it's, one of the best places I've ever worked. And I can't say that I've worked.
And we were also on the late great Gary Monroe's War Zone for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we've been doing this for a long time. I know a lot of people don't think we have been, but we have, All right, what's going on with you? Walaikum Salam. He says, does anybody remember the late great Muhammad Nasruddin in recycling black dollars? I believe that needs to reboot nationwide. It doesn't ring a bell to me. Maybe I have to see it for it to jog my memory, but no, it's always about recycling black dollars. 100%, right? Mad Dog, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Says stand on business and stay on business. Roger, how you doing? Says like mayonnaise. Like mayonnaise, and y'all like mayonnaise. You not? Like y'all say we like fried chicken. I'm not mad at that. Y'all like mayonnaise. Like we tender, we sensitive. You do. That's like when they say y'all like fried chicken and watermelon, and do. And sometimes we like to eat it together. Chicken. And then we're gonna have us a piece of watermelon. Y'all think y'all really be thinking we like chicken and watermelon. So what? Y'all like chicken and watermelon too. Okay. Maybe you don't like as much seasoning as we do, but that don't hurt my feelings. So yeah, don't get tender. YouTube, Melanie Girl, what's going on? It says make sure to talk to your family and friends, especially those under 25 of age, about the importance of the boycott. I have noticed Gen Z and Gen Alpha can be very naive about other groups. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. We got to really get next to them and be like, you're not gonna mess up the rotation. Okay, party time is over. If it means you're not spending money with other groups of people, so be it. Save your money until we get our stuff up off the ground, but no more.
Yeah, right? Conversations with SDW says those Asians have been disrespectful from the beginning. Coming in our neighborhoods, don't invest, they don't give back, nothing, enough is enough. Now, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, but do we not have council members that are black that we vote for in the council? Why aren't they mandatory, demanding or setting up some kind of system to where that must be done? But you're absolutely right. They don't invest in it. They take the money and they bring it back to their community. The biggest Asian community, Vietnamese Asian community outside of Vietnam is right here in Orange County, California, and it's called Little Saigon. They set up their own little communities. My question to you guys is, where's Blackville? You got Little Haiti, you got Chinatown, you got Koreatown. Where's Blackville? How come these people are allowed to set up their own areas, and then when we try to do it, they get Ed Bloom and they sue us for discrimination?
And they don't want to talk about that. That is so anti-black. That is very anti-black to target black folks. The little bit that we do get, you want to target black folks, and that's the Asians, mostly Chinese, that got together with Ed Bloom to get rid of the educational component of affirmative action because they believe that black folks are keeping them out. And now the white folks is running circles around them with the legacy, students, their parents are paying for them to get into college and things like that. So it's like, now what's your problem? Everybody said, even some from the Asian community, the Asians got played. And Ed Bloom, he was mad because he lost in the 18th district here in Houston. He lost a congressional seat. So he's been on having an axe to grind with black folks ever since. He said it himself. So, and I talked about that the other day on African Diaspora News Channel, where y'all could catch me 11 a.m. Central Time, Tuesday through Thursday. Jackie Brown, what's going on? Says, in black community needs that crime bill. We are being targeted. Yep. Not from the Democrats, though. Democrats are like, bump that. It's all about illegal immigration. Forget y'all. I'm just reading some of the comments. The Tory experience, how you doing? You say, she says delusional host. I don't know what's more delusional, the host or you having a filter on your face. What do you really look like? That's delusion, to think to put up a profile picture of a whole filter on your face and then got the nerve that say, those of y'all who met me, I look like this for real. Tory, who knows? Right? Why do you hate yourself? Why are you so delusional where you would put a filter on your face? You look like a Bratz doll. The Bratz dolls aren't real, but you run around looking like a Bratz doll. You talking about we're delusional? Interesting. I think I'm being good today, y'all. I'm being good. I'm trying to anyway. Mr. Ernest says, excuse my language, but F everybody but us. That's what they say to us. Right? Maisha, what's going on? Says, I'm so happy my people coming together. We need to take this boycott serious. Totally agree with you. And we are. Like I said, I'm going to get back on my war horse, y'all. Those y'all who used to see me back in the day, I'm just not really on my stomping ground like that. I got to get to familiar ground. But those of y'all who know, my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid at all. Pam, I heard that what's her face? Karen Bass's grandfather is something. Black American television.
No, I just looked it up. She is not. It says no. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is not Latino. She is African American. While she does not have Latino heritage, she has deep ties to the Latino community. Her ex-husband,
like one of her grandfathers or something, is half something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like that. So she's technically considered African American though. So.
Oh yeah. That do nothing for black folks. Shannon Sharp says we got to stop supporting those black celebrities who don't want to be with us. Yes, to each their own, but we are tired of these black celebrities act as though black people aren't your common cut off. But yeah, Shannon Sharp is one of them. But boy, he gave up a bag. That's your money. We don't care, right? But I think it's safe to say that Shannon Sharp, most of his audience is probably black. You gave that white girl, what they say, $20 million? Because you wouldn't put a baby up in
her. His daughter a budget of what, $30,000 for her wedding. Gave her a budget of $30,000.
And Bragdon said she was gonna have chicken and spaghetti for dinner. That's what he was gonna pay for. Chicken and spaghetti, and you gave this white girl $20 million because you wouldn't put a baby in her. And from that point, she got on her war horse about you. Juniper Joy says, Roland Martin said, paraphrasing, stupid, you can't get reparations without a certain number of votes from the Dems and another certain from the Republicans. He said Republicans will never give you that. Yeah, he said that. But nobody listening to Roland.
Right. But see, here's the funny thing about Roland. He picks and chooses what he wants to say. Did not Obama in his first 2 years have a supermajority in the Senate? Did he not have a supermajority in the Senate? I believe he did.
Yeah.
I believe he did. And did we get anything with a supermajority? Absolutely not. See, you guys got to be very careful what these people are saying. Is just like Angela Rye. She knew that money was sitting there. And a lot of the boule knew that money was there. But you got to also realize the boule is very articulate. You didn't go to Howard University. We could be, the boule could be very, bougie to themselves. And this is what happens. Angela Rye is not the only black person that knew about that fund. But here's Roland Martin, Mr. I know everything about politics, but he didn't mention Obama had a supermajority in the Senate for 2 years. 2 years. The filibuster didn't matter. Nothing didn't matter. Obama could have done whatever he wanted for 2 years.
Yeah. Raynard says Donovan, what Demetria does not, and Dr. Irons, I know what old dog. I know what you're talking about. We can't really get into that here, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Raynard says Donovan, what Demetria does not understand is that many think black folks in California are not voting for black issues, but LGBTQ, feminism, and gender war, voting for their own demise and destruction. Donovan, you better tell him I'm California born and raised. Tell him I understand California politics. I ain't been out of California that long.
Absolutely, yes. Even though she's planted it to Houston, Demetria, didn't we take your black card when you left California? I think she still has it, but she's look just like the illegals. Demetria keeps finding a way back into the state.
And will. Okay, I'm born and raised in California. Conversations with DW. What's going on? It was nice to meet you as well. It says those Asians have been disrespectful from the beginning, coming in our neighborhoods. Don't invest, don't give back. Nothing is enough is enough. Yeah. And again, I know some don't like it, but what can we do? You know, you don't like, y'all don't care that we don't like stuff. You know, Brother Damon says Black Truth United has the black roller decks. Okay. The black roller decks. That's an old school right there. Yeah, logical thinker says, woohoo, five. Okay, so 539 in the chat. Yes. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going down. Mad Dog says, no more buying Jordans and Timberland boots, brothers. Yeah, brothers. Okay, y'all talking about women with hair weaves and nails. Yeah, y'all wearing the Tims and the Jordans. I know Jordan is a black man, but I don't know. I'm not one to spend that kind of money on that type of stuff. I'm not a flashy person. I'm not walking around with other people's labels on me because I'm not a walking billboard. I'm embarrassed to wear labels. I'm not speaking for nobody else. I'm just speaking for me. I'm not going to be wearing other people's labels. Are you crazy? Big old LVs and double G's and all this other stuff. Some people don't. The only thing they like about us wearing their stuff is the money. Other than that, they don't want us to advertise that kind of stuff. I tell you all the time. My brother used to work for American Express, and they did not. This is American Express, and I understand it to a degree, but they didn't want the rappers and people when I'm having a black car because they said it cheapens the value and the meaning behind the black car. We don't care if they can't afford it. We just don't want them to have it because it's exclusive, right? So it's the same thing with a lot of these labels that not y'all, but them over there, you know, running around talking about, I got on some Gucci. They don't give a damn. All they want is your money. You know, but I'm not giving them people that kind of money. Brother Don says, I saw the social experiment. All the Asians and Southeast Asians, rather say they would be white given a choice. Black people said they love being black and wouldn't change it for anything. Yeah. Not me. Not me. Brother Jonell says majority of foreigners are programmed to put on colonizers' glasses and see us as free economics. Easy enrichment. Slavery was founded for economic gain to black detriment and is still clearly in full bloom. Yep. Janie, you say, I'm so glad Trump is in office because Cat Williams said everyone will be exposed. We FBA always knew how everyone felt about us, but now everyone is saying how they really feel about us. Yeah. Everybody's being exposed. And guess what? Yeah, you know, everybody going through some things, but black folks, we always good. I mean, we got room for improvement, but we know how to survive the game. Everybody else ain't used to the heat that Trump done turned up in the kitchen. Avenger Ancestors, how you doing? Thank you so much for that love. I appreciate you. Sorry it took me so long to get to the bottom. I'm working on it, y'all. There's a lot of comments in here. Slap jaw. One love to you as well. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else. Zachariah, how you doing? Going all the way to the bottom. Regis, what's going on? He says, time to show these other groups who sets the standards for the planet. Time to show them how much power we as black people have. They know the power we got. They know we don't know it. But guess what? We knowing it now, aren't we? Jacqueline, what's going on? Says, when I was a child, we had black businesses we had to shop with. Yeah, when I was coming up too, there's a lot of black business. We just got to get back to that. Mac, what's going on? Says, absolutely right. So many people don't understand that this calls for sacrifice. Yeah, it's going to cost us something. Absolutely, Sunlight. Absolutely. Brother Jonell says, your sacrifice, and Brother Donovan Saadiq, sacrifice is appreciated and much needed. Yes. You know, like I said, please, I was not complaining, y'all, at all. Trust me, I ain't going to do what I don't want to do. But I know that, you know, somebody got to do it, right? And it's my pleasure. DJ Arski was going on. Ariski, I hope I said that right. Says the U.S., aka the system, has systematically brought in people into our neighborhoods and gave them loans and everything else that could possibly shut down our economic growth, break their tools. Don't buy no more. Mr. Three Hands, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. I think I'm getting to the bottom, and Donovan, I think I'm getting there. Fair Use says 1777 they burned and submerged 50 black towns. See, that doesn't surprise me, but that's okay. But y'all notice when we talk about we want to separate, why? It's about the human family. Can't y'all just let us go? Leave us alone. You'll be all right without us. You say you don't need us. We don't do nothing. We rays and pookies and boom queashes. Y'all don't need us. When we talk about we good, we want to separate. Y'all know most black people want to separate, right? Most black people do not want to be included. But the minute we start talking, like I said, and like somebody else said, with Trump, he's a douche. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of things he's talking about, that separation, that segregation, when he got rid of that contracting thing on the federal level as far as segregation, a lot of black folks was like, please and thank you. How soon can we make that happen everywhere? And then everybody was like, well, why do you want to? Oh, we the human family, bull cocker. We should be, but we not. Black folks always get left out and told we this, that, and the other. But the minute we say we want to separate, why you want to do that?
And isn't it strange that this man has been in his second term in office, done whatever he wanted to do, pretty much. It took executive orders or however he did it, and he did it without Congress. Whatever he can't do without Congress, he does without Congress. This man, and I'm not a Trump supporter, we're not a Trump supporter, he's a douchebag. I agree with all that. He's a wannabe mob boss and all that other stuff, because you got to be gangster in business. But he has now shown America and black people in general, there is no excuse why you can't get, like Kamala said, get yours. There's no excuse now. The power of the pen will do everything it needs to do. Do you guys realize that the Dreamer situation that is still unresolved and is still going to the courts to this very day? Obama did that by executive pen. He couldn't get it through Congress. He did it by executive pen. Those people have now had children by now, a lot of them. And those children are American citizens according to birthright citizenship. No longer can the Democrats talk about what a president can't do. So we got to take, what we can take the good out of what this man has done to open our eyes and give him his flowers. I'm not saying give him, money and praise and make a statue, but let's speak the facts. He's shown us that they've been pulling the wool over our eyes for over 60 years, talking about what they can't do.
Absolutely. And it says user TJ. I probably know who you are. It's not coming up though. It says blacks tried to have Lamert district, a black town, and LA council will not approve it, but there was a historic Filipino, a little Bangladesh, Korea, Chinatown, little Armenia, and little Ethiopia. Yeah. That is true. Blacks can't have nothing on your own because it's a human race, right? But everybody else got something. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Love it. Appreciate you for that. Let's see. I see that we are almost out of time. We did a whole 2 hours, Donovan. A whole 2 hours. Mighty Black One, what's going on with you? Hope you're having a great day. Mr. Three Hands says, don't let those people fool you. My ex-wife is Afro-German. Says, I've been over there and seen them folks fight when the stores sit. You said the fresh whole watermelons out. They are walking out with a melon happy. Yeah, I know. They tell us it's only us that like chicken and watermelon. That's not true. Dusty indeed. How you doing? Says, what significance can this boycott have if all the product being sold are made in home countries of the boycotted businesses owners? Not looking to argue, just trying to understand. Do you know that our people, Black Americans, we know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. We know how to make hair conditioning out of stuff in the kitchen. We know how to do a lot of things. We don't need the manufactured things that are no good for you anyway, because it's got chemicals, it's got plastic, got a lot of things we don't need. We know how to make herbs and, and remedies, and we know how to do it all. Don't ever believe that we are dependent people because we don't have the ingenuity. Oh, we got the ingenuity. How you think this place we call America function? Off of the ingenuity of Black Americans. A lot of this stuff that they run around saying that they came up with, that's a lie from the pit of hell. So we don't need the things that are manufactured that's not good for us, right? You wonder why, especially nowadays, people coming up with all this cancer and all these ailments and things, because there's so much stuff in those products, whether it's clothes, food, or whatever, that's not good for you. We need to get back to making things natural anyway. And, we don't, me personally, I'm a minimalist, and I've gotten back to not buying so many clothes. I mean, damn, how many clothes do you need in the closet? Most of the time, we ain't really going nowhere like that to wear all the doggone clothes. So we know how to sew. My mama, she knew how to sew. She sold me and my siblings clothes and things. Donovan's mom sews, right? So that's the things that we did. You needed a dress, kids needed some clothes or whatever. Your mama sewed, so we don't need to order that stuff anyway. My daughter, I got a sewing machine years and years ago, so we could get back to that. We'll be all right.
And I'm a field hand, and I got a backyard full of fruits and vegetables and things that I need to keep going, whatever the deal is. But also, I want to bring it to attention when we're talking about what Trump has done for Black people. He tore up NAFTA in his first term. He said NAFTA was not fair to American citizens. That helps Black people. Why is it that who signed NAFTA in the law? Wasn't that a Democratic president named Clinton? Gave all the jobs and the transportation to all these other countries that are now invading us, gave them the opportunity to make jobs for their people, but took the jobs from us. And Donald Trump came in and said, as a businessman, this is not right. It takes away jobs. And a lot of people that had common sense knew that. And I'm going to get rid of this. And he's done so. And so what I'm trying to tell you guys is, I don't care for Trump. I don't even know the man like that, okay? But the fact of the matter is, this is just my personal opinion. Demetria might disagree with me, whatever. I believe Donald Trump, when his term is over and history is going to show, he is going to go down as one of the greatest presidents of all times. Not the greatest, one of the greatest. And the reason I say that is because of the historic things that he's done in the time of his presidency, challenging the 14th Amendment for Black people, tearing up NAFTA. He's trying to make America great again. And if you guys don't agree with that, all I can say is he is the only president in the last 60 years that has stood up specifically for something for Black people, and that's the birthright citizenship. Did Obama talk about birthright citizenship when he approved the Dreamers thing? No, he just put it in there. The Democrats opened the border and just let people in. Do you guys realize we are the only country that believes and does birthright citizenship? No other country can you go there and have a baby and that baby's a citizen. No other country. I'm not a Trump supporter, but as somebody who knows history and is a political person, I'm telling you guys, what this man has done, he has done more for Black people than any Democratic president has done in the last 60 years.
Oh, I'm afraid Donovan opened up some can of worms, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I think there are some things that he's doing that is beneficial to Black folks. Now, it might not be directly like I'm doing this for y'all per se, but that 14th Amendment, the birthright citizenship, man, the Democrats want everybody to be able to use and abuse it. Trump and the Republicans are saying, nah, that ain't it. Is it based on racism? Yeah, it probably is, but we inadvertently are benefiting from that. Because again, the Democrats want any and everybody to be able to come over here. Oh gosh, we need to find a way to fund it and all this other stuff while they're kicking Black Americans in the tailbone every day and then mad because we won't show up for that. Well, Black people ain't voting. Well, you ain't doing nothing for us to vote for. You start giving some tangibles for Black folks to show up to get. Then maybe Black people are rearrange their understanding about their relationship with the Democratic Party, but they're losing steam every day. And there's not enough they can do now to freak Black people out. So too bad, so sad for them. Right? MC Fact, how you doing? Did I say hi to you? If not, hello. Tiffany, what's going on with you? Says Donovan is not lying. And Kenneth, how you doing? Says, no, I do not agree. If he wants to be great, give us our reparation to anti-Black hate crime bill to do that. I totally agree with you. Todd says Trump supports BB. Yeah, they all do. All of them. BB, that says enough for me. All of them on both sides of the aisle. I know people think that Kamala would have been different. No, she wouldn't have been. Kamala would not have been different at all. Kamala would have been doing the same thing. I promise you. She would have been doing the same thing. So, yeah. So, Donovan, we're supposed to interview Tamara Johnson-Shealy tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to her. And Tamara is a reparations crusader is what I call her. She actually is gone all over the country crusading and having conversations, with different people, Republicans, especially about reparations. And she believes that they might be the party to give it to us. So we're going to have another conversation with her. She's going to give us an update of what's going on. So y'all stay tuned for that. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time. In the meantime, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Hopefully I got to everybody's comment, but if I did not, please do not charge it to my heart, charge it to my head, and not being able to read fast enough. Benny, how you doing? You know what, you crazy. Yeah. I hear you.
And before we go, you guys, again, thank you guys for sharing your Sundays with us. We really do appreciate it. For those of you guys that have co-hosted with us for such a very long time, you are greatly appreciated. And before you guys get out of here, hit that like button so we can push this conversation out to the algorithm. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget to tune back in on Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. And don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play, Apple Store, and we've got some graduates that are happening. School year is basically out for a lot of people. Nothing better for that college graduate to put him in school than knowledge. The African Diaspora News Channel app is a great gift to give.
Absolutely. So, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.